What is up, FPG fam? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Tower Fantasy video where we're continuing our PvP content. And in today's video I did want to showcase Claudia, Shido, and Meryl for this physical team, and this team is a lot of fun. So we're going to do just a quick rundown so you know what's going on here, and then we'll go ahead and jump into that PvP. So obviously we have Claudia here for the physical resonance and the damage buffing up, the low skill cooldown, and the high charge rate. So we pair that with Shido here, and Shido is going to be a lot of fun because we have the 3-star advancement that's going to reset the cooldowns and increase the shatter, and is able to have that really nice AoE on the skill. And it's always fun. You can do the dodge into the attack for a bit of a stun as well, so you can have some really interesting plays there. And then of course we have Meryl here for the CC and for the shield breaking. So the way I like to do this is use Claudia to start out with, go ahead right into the skill, and then do some attacks to try and build up that charge. And then if I'm able to build up that charge, depending on the situation, I may then switch into Meryl, do the charge, the discharge there, and then go into spin to win, and then maybe the skill, so we have hyper body. But if there's a different situation going on, I may go right into Shido, pop the skill there, have the bloom going, have those chakrams flying, and then get the cooldown reset, and then be able to do it again. So this team is fun. This team is really good, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily the meta, just because you have Frigg there running around, and whenever you have Frigg in there, it's just very difficult to deal with that when you are not able to really gain distance and really attack from afar. It is nice to have Nemesis in here, but this team works out nonetheless, and it's fun. I like to switch it up. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Hopefully you like what you see, and with that being said, let's jump into some PvP. Hey, that rhymed. All right, jumping into our first match that we have here. And once again, like I mentioned, running with that Claudia, and I do have the same relics that I had in my previous PvP video. And right now I'm just trying to close the distance so I can do the skill, so I can have the damage reduction, go right into Shido to try and throw some chakrams out there, try and get some damage off, trying to break the shield. You can see they have the missile relic, and then we go right into our skill. Unfortunately, he's up in the air spinning the wind right there with the Samir weapon, but we go right into Meryl's hyper body for the skill, be able to try and break some shields, go right back into the skill for Claudia, once again for the damage reduction, and for some iframes right there, right into Meryl's discharge. And then right now I'm just spin the wind, trying to take that shield off, trying to do as much damage as possible. And right now I ran out of endurance, so that was unfortunate. And now I'm going right back into some chakram swings, and he's on the run right now. We're having to try and chase him down. He wanted to gain some distance so he can get Coco out and get some heals. Unfortunately, he shot his skill for Samir in the wrong direction, and now this guy is just really trying to gain some distance. But I'm trying to be as oppressive as possible and not let him get that distance, because I want to stay aggressive. I noticed with this team, because you don't have as much CCing capabilities, you want to try and be as aggressive as possible to really stay in the opponent's face, because if you let them gain some distance or you let them do what they want to do, it's really hard to get the momentum back in your favor and to gain priority. Right now, up in the air, just spinning the wind, very difficult for me to deal with that because I don't have too many options. But nonetheless, we're back into the skill. Luckily, we were right next to him. He didn't gain the distance, so we were right next to him, in his face, throwing out the skills, throwing out the chakrams there, and we were able to get him down. So that was the first match, and right into the second match here. So like I mentioned, this is a fun team, but it's very difficult because this team doesn't have a lot of CCs, and I feel like that's very important to have in PvP. Having a lot of CC is going to really determine if you get priority or not. So that's why Frigg and Meryl and Nemesis is such a strong team comp right now in the meta, because all of them have very strong CC capabilities. Now we're going up against a individual who's using Tsubasa right now, and this guy was very shifty and very hard to lock down, also using Meryl right there. So they went ahead and did their discharge, went right into the spin to win. I figured I'll do the same as well with the hyper body, but you can see that they're winning in this exchange, and unfortunately they are taking me out. They go right into the skills, and I want to try and get out of there as fast as possible so I don't get hit with all the skills. Figured I'd get some distance and try my skill out. This probably wasn't the best play right here, And once again, I'm still in the process of learning, still trying to rank up in PvP and really get my legs under me when it comes to trying to get more skillful. So there we go, down right there. That was unfortunate. I probably should have gained some distance, but I know we can have a comeback here because I know we can beat this guy with what we've been doing. So I go right back in, trying to get my charge. That was a poor use of my skill. I thought he was going to be closer to come back in. Unfortunately not. Right into Shido, trying to really just whittle down his shield. Right into the skill. Luckily we caught him in there. That was a nice bit of luck right there. And now we're going back in, spin to win because they do the discharge, so we have the hyper body. It's not going to affect us. We were able to take him out. That was really nice. And so I'm now trying to regroup, put my shield on, and now I have 2 charges. Go right into the Shido one right there, right into the skill for Claudia. Once again, damage reduction, some iframes. He's in the air because he knows I can't do much about it. And I'm going right into Shido because Shido's about the only thing I can do in the air unless I jump up there with him. I could throw those chakrams up there. Right now, just kind of frozen, can't do much. Throw my relic out there to keep him in place. Go ahead and do Claudia's skill again. And now I have the charge right into Meryl's charge. Was able to knock him up really nice right into the skill. And was able to take him out, luckily. So that's the thing, is the CC is just so important. I think it's so vital to have, and when this team just doesn't have it, it's very difficult. I would say I won maybe 50% of my matches when it came to this team in particular. I think it's fun. I think it's a good team that you could put together, but it's not necessarily going to cut it when you're going up against somebody that has Frigg, Meryl, and Nemesis, or a combination of Meryl and Frigg and then some other simulacra or weapon. Is just very difficult to fight that combo because that Frigg AoE is just so large and the multi-slashes are so oppressive, and then Meryl's hyper body on everything and the CC on that is just very difficult to deal with, and this team just cannot really handle it. But we got our next match right here where we have this individual jumping around running a 0. You don't see that very often, and a Nemesis. Luckily we were able to keep him in place, pop in the relic, pop in the skill for the chakrams. They were able to put out their Nemesis skill, or electrode I should say, but you could just see I'm just trying to be hyper aggressive, hyper oppressive, in their face, not letting them breathe, because I feel like that's the type of playstyle you need to have with this team in particular. You really just need to be in their face, just popping skills, popping damage, popping attacks, not letting them do a whole lot. The Claudia knockup is really nice for a little CC right there. You can kind of control them. They're trying to get out of here with Coco. They're just trying to run. They're into 0 as well, so they're running more of like a healer tank shield build in a sense, you know, with all the healing that they have from 0, Coco, and Nemesis, which is interesting. That could be some type of team comp that they're experimenting with, or some type of strategy that they're trying to implement. But nonetheless, once again, just trying to be in their face and be oppressive. I don't think that team has enough damage to really output or the shield breaking capabilities, so they're gonna have a hard time with everything that I'm able to do, especially if I'm in their face constantly. I feel like their team is more for trying to have distance and poke from afar, where my team is more in your face melee type of tactics, really not let you breathe, and just really be close combat. So we're just popping skills once again, popping discharges. They were able to freeze me, which was really nice. And that electrode, man, that Nemesis electrode is just so incredibly strong because it continues to just whittle your damage away and your health away. And sometimes I lose sight of the electrode actually doing that damage to me, and I tend to forget that it's out there and it's actually playing a very important role. But nonetheless, we were able to come back, pop them in the air, do some CC, and then take them out right there. So really nice move and not bad at all. But anyways, guys, I do hope you enjoyed the video today. I hope you like what you saw once again. And if you did, drop a like, sub if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name is Cody, but you can call me further. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.